A waiter poured water on a black customer, arrogantly saying it was to lighten her tone. However, the customer's response was so powerful that it left the whole restaurant silent. What happens next will surprise you. Watch until the end to see this remarkable story. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and let us know in the comments where you're watching from. La Belle Vie, a high-end restaurant in the heart of Manhattan, was known for its sophistication and exclusivity. Frequented by celebrities, business people, and politicians, it was a place where appearances mattered as much as the fine dishes served. The low lighting, minimalist decor, and the sound of live piano music created an atmosphere of elegance. Tasha Taylor, a renowned 32-year-old lawyer, had every reason to celebrate that evening. After being promoted to partner at the law firm she worked for, she decided to treat herself to dinner at one of the best restaurants in the city. Dressed elegantly, Tasha entered the restaurant with the confident posture of someone who had earned her place, but quickly realized that her presence caused a slight discomfort. As the host led her to her table, she noticed she had been seated in a discreet corner, far from the large windows and the main dining area. It wasn't the first time something like this had happened in upscale establishments, but she chose not to say anything. Tasha always believed that dignity spoke louder than unnecessary confrontations. As she scanned the menu, Tasha felt the stares from other tables. It wasn't new. Many seemed to question her presence there. Some disguised their curiosity, others didn't even try. She ignored it, focusing on the reason for her celebration. The waiter assigned to her table, Ryan Blake, hurried over. He was young with a rigid posture and seemed more interested in serving customers he considered more important. His dry tone was a clear indication of his impatience. "Good evening. Have you decided?" Ryan asked, without even lifting his eyes to look at Tasha. "Yes, I'll start with the lobster soup and the medium-rare filet mignon as the main course, please," she replied, maintaining her elegance. Ryan quickly jotted down the order and left without a thank you or a smile. Tasha sighed but didn't let it affect her evening. As she waited for her appetizer, Tasha signaled Ryan and asked for a glass of water. He brought the drink without hurry, balancing the tray with just one hand. As he reached her table, something in his expression changed. He seemed to be enjoying something that only he understood. Deliberately, Ryan tilted the glass of water over Tasha, pouring it directly onto her arm and dress. The movement was slow and intentional, and Tasha's eyes widened in shock. "Oops," Ryan said with a sarcastic smile. "Maybe this will help lighten your tone." The room fell silent. The soft sound of the piano in the background was now the only noise. Some nearby customers who heard the remark exchanged bewildered looks. A couple seated a few meters away whispered something, while a man at the adjacent table frowned. Tasha looked at the waiter, feeling the cold water drip down her arm and the fabric of her dress. She calmly picked up a napkin, drying her arm with firm movements. Her expression was a mix of disbelief and indignation. "Did you just say what I think you said?" Tasha asked, her voice low but filled with authority. Ryan took a step back, crossing his arms. He smiled as if expecting an explosive reaction. "Just a joke," he responded, with a tone bordering on mockery. "A joke?" Tasha repeated, leaning slightly forward. "Do you think it's funny, humiliating someone because of their skin color?" The waiter hesitated. He opened his mouth to respond but couldn't find the words. The silence that had been uncomfortable before now felt overwhelming. Everyone in the room was focused on what was happening. "Do you think this water can change who I am?" Tasha continued, slowly rising from her chair. Her tone was calm, but each word seemed to slice through the air. "Because if you do, you understand very little about dignity." Ryan tried to mumble something, but Tasha raised her hand to stop him. "No, please don't bother explaining. There's no excuse for what you just did. But let me teach you something," she said, turning to the dining room. "Dignity is not something someone like you can take from me. It's something I carry with me because I know who I am." The entire restaurant was paralyzed. The piano had stopped playing, and even the other waiters had frozen in place. Tasha's words echoed, and even those who had pretended not to hear now couldn't look away. She looked directly at Ryan. "You tried to humiliate me, but the only thing you accomplished was showing how small you are." At that moment, the restaurant manager, Clara Martinez, hurried over. Visibly embarrassed, she assessed the scene and quickly understood what had happened. "Miss Taylor, please accept my sincerest apologies," Clara said, with a tone that mixed shame and desperation. "The behavior of this employee is unacceptable. Please allow me to fix this." Tasha turned to Clara, maintaining an upright posture. "Fix? How exactly do you intend to fix what was done here? Tell me, because words are easy, actions are difficult." Clara was silent for a moment but quickly turned to Ryan. "You're dismissed. Now, get your things and leave," Clara ordered, her tone cutting. Ryan hesitated, looking around as if seeking support. He found none. The other staff watched him with a mix of disapproval and relief. He quickly left, not looking back. Clara turned to Tasha, arms crossed in front of her. "Ma'am, we'll cover all the expenses for the night and offer a formal apology. This doesn't reflect the values of La Belle Vie." Tasha smiled slightly, but her response was firm. "I'm not interested in a free dinner. I'm interested in respect. Make sure he learns something from this, and ensure the entire staff learns too." The next morning, a video of the incident, recorded by a nearby customer, went viral on social media. Tasha's words, especially her phrase, "Dignity is not something someone like you can take from me," were shared thousands of times. People from different parts of the world commented on her stance and applauded her strength. Meanwhile, the restaurant issued an official statement apologizing for the incident and promising that all staff would undergo diversity and anti-discrimination training. Ryan was officially fired, but the impact of the incident continued to echo. Tasha, for her part, declined interviews for several weeks. When she finally agreed to speak, she explained, "I didn't want to turn that moment into something about me. What I wanted was to show that no one should be disrespected because of their skin color or anything else. Respect is the minimum, and we need to keep demanding it." After the incident at La Belle Vie, Tasha became a symbol of dignity and resistance. Her calm yet incisive response continued to be shared on social media and inspired debates about prejudice in elitist spaces. Many people began to recognize that racism can manifest even in the smallest gestures, like the one witnessed in the restaurant. La Belle Vie, pressured by the backlash, implemented significant changes within its team and training. Clara Martinez, the manager, ensured the restaurant would be a place of inclusion and respect. Other establishments in New York followed suit, showing that one incident could spark broader changes. Tasha, for her part, continued to inspire. For many, her words that night, "Dignity is not something someone can take from me," became a mantra, a powerful reminder that the strongest response to prejudice is to stand tall and demand real change. How many times do situations like this happen and go unexposed? And how many people don't get the opportunity to respond with dignity like Tasha did? If you believe stories like this help raise awareness and promote respect, subscribe to the channel and share with your friends. Together, we can inspire more people to fight against prejudice.